Freedom and beauty to everyone, I am the Technomage and welcome to my review of Star Wars The Acolyte Episode 7, Choice. And the Jedi did nothing wrong. Hashtag the Jedi did nothing wrong. Because seriously, we finally find out what happened on Brendok 16 years ago and the Jedi did nothing wrong. I can safely say that the tragedy of Brendok is all the witches' fault. Like seriously. Now, before I begin, I need to mention this. Alright, here is where the episode begins at 1 minute 35 seconds. And this whole episode is just a retelling of episode 3 from the point of view of the Jedi. It's one enormous flashback. And finally, at 27 minutes, like this episode is around 40 minutes long, and we have to endure almost 30 minutes of just flashback of retelling things that we already know. And finally, one of the big mysteries of this series is revealed in the last 10 episodes, the last 8 to 10 minutes. Like seriously, I said before that the writers of this show are awful, and this confirms it. Like they have no sense of rhythm, of mystery, of tension, like nothing. So well, we finally get to this part.
Taking out Osha to...
And what happened? Mai appears, and she's extremely upset. Why? Because she already started the fire that almost burned her sister to death and destroyed the fortress. By the way, one of her mothers, this one specifically,
You wish to know if we will allow...
Mother Coral, the Sabrak woman, the one with the horns, she incited Osha Mai into doing this. No, seriously. When Mother Anisea told the other witches that she decided that Osha will go with the Jedi because it was her decision, it was what she wanted, Mai stormed out of the room. Mother Coral went after her, and then she told her, do you want to stop your sister? Then do something. Get mad. Get really mad. Like, seriously? That's what you do? Ask her mother, you're supposed to take care of her. Tell her, calm down. It's your sister. I know this hurts you, but she incited this little, 10-year-old girl into killing her sister. And then, even though Mother Anisea, who is supposed to be the leader of this coven, she said, Osha, I will respect Osha's wishes and I will let her go with the Jedi. She said, no, screw that. All of you witches, arm yourselves, prepare for battle. And then this happens. Maya tells them that Osha is in danger, that there's fire everywhere. And holy crap! Mother Anisea proceeds to transform into this kind of shadow specter. And if you pay attention, the same thing starts happening to Mai. She starts dissolving into this shadow matter. And that's the moment when Saul reacts and ignites his lightsaber and kills Mother Anisea. And in all honesty, can you blame him? First of all, episode 3, when Mother Anisea is explaining the thread, that's their philosophy of their vision of the Force, how they interpret the Force, she tells them that the Jedi are wrong, that their vision of the Force is too narrow, that there isn't a Force and there is no like good or evil, no dark side or light side, there is only power and those with the right to wield it. That is one of the central philosophies of the Sith, of any darksider, any user of the dark side of the Force. Why? Because it's possessive, it's about dominion and control. And I mentioned a couple of times that is very like the relationship between Mai and Osha. Mai is really possessive of Osha, of her sister. Osha for her is more than just her sister, it's something like belongs to her. And then we had also in episode 3 how to scare the Jedi away. They possessed Torvin, taking advantage that he is the youngest and more inexperienced member of the group, and they really scare him. Like the poor kid was desperate to return to Coruscant, to the Jedi Temple. And now we have more evidence of the way these witches behave. So honestly, I don't blame Saul for reacting this way. I would have done the same. Like, if I seen my neighbors behaving like this, mistreating their children, inciting them to fight between them, I would call the police, honestly. And here, instead of trying to de-escalate the situation, because Corel and Torin are about to fight, instead of standing between them and say, okay, both of you stop. What does she do? She does this. And well, everything goes to hell after this. And look, somehow, because this is a fortress made of stone, that little fire that Mai started actually reached their enormous power generators, and they start the fortress starts to explode and crumble. And they know that Osha is somewhere in danger, in the middle of this fire, in the middle of this chaos. And they just send Mai alone, a little 10-year-old girl, to save her. And what do the other witches do? Do they say, alright, everyone stop, we have to get out of here, we have to save Osha and Mai, they are alone inside, we need to get out of this fortress, it's crumbling down? What do? They keep fighting. Mother Corel also transforms into this Shadow Spectre. Why? So they can possess Kelnaka. And what follows should be an amazing fight. I mean, yeah, sure, it looks good enough. But here's the thing. If you know anything about Star Wars and the Wookiees, you should know that Wookiees are extremely strong. Like, they are not just tall and big. I mean, yes, their arms are kind of skinny, but they are very, very strong. When Han Solo said in the first Star Wars film that a Wookiee can rip your arms off, he wasn't joking. They can't do that. So the idea of two humans, like, managing to stop Kelnaka's slashes is ridiculous. And this part. There, dead. Torvin should be dead. Kelnaka grabbed him and slammed him against this wall. His skull, his neck, his ribcage, his internal organs should be destroyed. And if that wasn't enough, here he is pressing Torvin's head against that wall. His head should be exploding like an egg. And then there's Saul. he grabs Saul by the neck. And there, Saul should be dead. His neck should be breaking like a little twig, but Kelnaka is actually struggling. And here are the rest of the witches. They disappeared. And instead of running away from all this fire of their fortress crumbling down on their heads, they are performing this ritual using the power of all of them together. You know, you remember their song, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Well, many are using their power to help Mother Coril possess Kelnaka. And no, not one of them went inside the fortress to help Osha and Mai. But Master Indara arrives and uses the Force to release Kelnaka from their control. And she succeeds, and this produces some kind of psychic backlash, feedback or something, and all the wishes die. And this is how we found them in episode 3, when all of them were dead. So much for the power of many. And oh yes, this part. They are both of them about to fall, and Saul tries to hold them, both of them, but that bridge is too heavy for him, so he makes the decision of letting Mae fall to her death and just save Osha. Why didn't he just lift both girls using the Force? I mean, if the bridge was too heavy, why didn't he just lift the girls? I mean, I assume they are much lighter than that metal bridge. Well, anyway, you know the rest. Osha goes with them, they decide not to tell anything to the council. And that's the end of the episode. And, again, the Jedi did nothing wrong. All of this tragedy could have been avoided if both groups just sit down and talked. But the witches chose to escalate the situation over and over again. I mean, the only one of them that actually decided to do something instead of violence was Mother Anisea, when she decided to let Osha go. But then she loses control of the Coven decides to fight, and then she joins them. Well, anyway, these writers are terrible. Like, seriously, they have tried so hard through these 6 episodes to make the Jedi a group of fascists, of authoritarians, and child kidnappers that can do whatever they want. As a matter of fact, it's part of this episode's dialogues. Mother Anisea tells them that they can do whatever they want and take whatever children they want, which, by the way, it's not true. But even then, these writers are so incompetent that they can even accomplish that, because all they prove is that the Jedi did nothing wrong. Well, at least I know this episode can get any worse. Wait a minute. What? Oh no. Oh, for the love of... I changed my mind. I stand corrected. They made the episode worse. This is the Technomage, signing off. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.